Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I really wanted to do a week in the garden to share what I get up to in the garden over the week. I am not going to be going crazy with the gardening. It's going to be like 30-minute increments here and there when I can get outside. I am around 11 weeks postpartum at the moment, so I'm not going to be going crazy in the garden. But I really do want to start doing a few things here and there, and I wanted to share what that is over the course of this video. So today is Monday, it's a public holiday, and it is like, I don't even know what the time is. It is 6:15, so it's a little bit of a late start out in the garden, but this is just when I have like 40 minutes or so to get outside. You would have seen I picked a bucket of straw flowers. I'll go and grab them and show you how beautiful they are. This is said bucket of flowers. So pretty. And the main reason why I wanted to come out and just do this as the job today is because I want to stay on top of them. Straw flowers are a cut and come again flower, so that means you can keep cutting them for quite a while until the plant starts to get really sad. And generally, the more you cut from these, the more you get. So that's why I want to keep on top of harvesting these. I'm probably actually just going to dry all of these flowers. I would like to put together some bouquets at the end of the week. I might have an order as well to put together, but we'll see. I'm not putting too much pressure on myself for the flower farm this week. But I did spend so much time planting and planning this flower farm over the course of my pregnancy, and I just want to keep it going as much as I can. And that means just doing little jobs here and there to keep the plants healthy and alive. So I'm probably going to come through and fertilize the straw flowers later in the week. But yeah, just keeping on top of harvesting them is my priority for this week because they are one of like my focal flowers that I use in my farm posies. I've also got a lot of feverfew that I need to hopefully harvest this week that I can put into some farm posies and generally just keep on top of some weeds in the garden. That is my plan for the week. I would also love to get some time in the cottage garden, so hopefully a day or two here we can just do some weeding and I can share my plans for the garden up near the house. But yeah, I wanted to just share what I can get done in the garden this week when I have increments of time of half an hour here, half an hour there, when Scott can look after Grayson and I can come out and get some gardening done. I have so many tomatoes and other things to harvest in the garden, but I am probably not going to do that today. I'm just going to take these up to the house and maybe get a little bit more work done in the cottage garden before I have to go inside. But I hope you enjoy today's video and let's see what we can get up to this week. A really big part of my goals and desires for this year is to slow down in life and appreciate the smaller moments. And one of those things that I really want to do in the garden is just be a little bit more creative here and there. So this afternoon I decided to just add a little bit of structure to my cottage garden. I'm trying to kind of create a few natural like fences and I don't know, little structures around the garden to draw your eye towards. And I had some leftover hydrangea branches that I wanted to kind of create these little protectors for these pots here. I propagated some geraniums or pelargoniums and some little like native violets and wanted to protect them from the bandicoot. We have a lot of bandicoots who like to dig up all of my plants in pots, so this is both acting as a protector for the bandicoot, but also I just think they look nice and I really want to add a little bit more whimsical features to my garden. So I'm going to kind of be playing around with different natural structures in the garden to draw your eye towards because they're one of my favorite things about cottage gardens. Today I also wanted to get on top of this rose. This is called Grace. It is one of my favourite plants in the garden, and it is a beautiful apricot David Austin rose, and I just give it a really good prune after it's done its first flush of flowers, and hopefully I get a few more before the season is done. And I also wanted to get on top of the weeds. I have so many grasses and ground covers throughout the cottage garden, as you'll be able to see, and I really want to have a clean slate and just tidy it all up so that I can have a little bit more productivity in this garden, actually plant plants that bring me joy or that I can harvest food from, and just not have to deal with an overgrown mess. However, it was proving to be quite difficult. As you can see, I was so tired on this day gardening. Even if it's just half an hour, I get so tired, and I think it's just a combination of not a lot of sleep that I'm getting, also just breastfeeding. It takes it out on you, and I am just constantly tired. So this day, it was a little bit more than I intended to do, but I'm glad I got a little bit of work done, and it did make me feel better at the end, but I was pretty tired after this. I am very excited to take back this garden and was happy with the progress on this day. I've still got a lot of work to do with cleaning up this garden, and I don't really mind how it looks at the moment. Like, it's very overgrown and wild, as cottage gardens are, and the bees and the butterflies are loving it, as are all of the other little creatures that live in here. So it's fine, and I'll eventually get there. There's really no pressure to do anything with this garden, and I just want to do little bits here and there. It has been a long day today, as most of my days are at the moment. It's about 5:30 and I am just going to do a bit of a walk around the garden. I don't really plan on doing too much gardening today, except I might fertilize those straw flowers like I was saying. And Annie and I are just doing a little walk around the garden just to have a bit of a break from inside, because I've been cooped up inside all day and I need a bit of a break. So it's really nothing too fancy that I use for fertilizer. I just have some worm tea. This is just leachate from my worm farms, and I have 2 watering cans. I'm just going to divide this up between the 2 of them. It probably works out to be about 1 part worm tea and then 10 parts water. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. And I'm pretty much just going to use this as a foliar feed. So I'm just going to pour the watering can contents. Can you tell I'm tired? I'm just going to pour the worm tea over the leaves of the straw flowers. This is just going to be like a bit more of a bacterial, microbial feed. Alongside, it's got a bit of nutrients like nitrogen, but it's just going to give the plants a bit of a boost, and they will uptake whatever they need through their leaves. They really don't need that much fertilizer, straw flowers, but I can kind of see they're starting to just look a little sad. The stems are starting to look a little weak, so I'm just going to give them a bit of a boost, and I'm sure they will like it. So my baby apparently has decided that sleep is for the weak, and I am the weak, apparently. I really haven't been able to film that much over the last few days because it has been a challenging few days, to say the least. And yeah, I just haven't had a lot of good sleep, and that means that my priorities aren't really gardening. They are just trying to keep myself sane. I am not too sure how many times I've sung Mary Had a Little Lamb the last few days to help soothe my baby back to sleep, but I think I've created another 20 renditions, so yeah, a lot. But it is currently Saturday, and I have had another day. Another day where it's just things just aren't going my way, which is fine. It's fine. I have actually managed to edit a video, and that is exporting now, so that can go up for tomorrow. And I had fully intended on filling an order this morning, but the person never got back to me. Just last minute kind of pulled out and ghosted me. So that happened, which is fine. I'd still harvested all the flowers, and I was going to take them all to my local garden centre. I put together like 3 bunches and was going to do a few more. And I've never done this before, but I actually just stopped and didn't want to continue making bouquets to take down today. I just had a day where I needed to just put myself first and go upstairs and actually finish drinking my coffee, sitting down, having some breakfast, and just relaxing rather than focusing on the flower farm, because I just wasn't really happy with how the bouquets were looking, and I don't want to take down something that I'm not super happy with. So I am instead going to keep the flowers for myself, and hopefully this afternoon I can just go and grab a big vase from somewhere around the house and do up some kind of arrangement. I wanted to have this as a very realistic week in my life, and the last few days have just been too busy to do any gardening, but I'm hoping that I can get out tomorrow. It'll be Sunday again, what? It's just once a week. I can't even talk properly. It will be Sunday, and I will have a little bit more help with Scott helping out, and I can hopefully get a little bit of gardening done. I think to make myself feel better this afternoon, I'm also going to do a little bit of seed shopping to plant out where I'm redoing some of the cottage garden, because I actually have no idea what I want to plant in that area, and I thought it might be cool to take you along with me and just try and plan that area out there a little bit more. So hopefully this afternoon, when the wind dies down a little bit, I can go for a little walk out in the cottage garden and just plan what I want to plant, because I really need to select very low maintenance plants to grow, because I just don't have the time to be out there day to day. So I think that'll be fun to do some seed shopping later today and see what we can do in the cottage garden. I actually didn't get around to adding in the footage that I filmed to finish off this week. I accidentally deleted the footage, so just my sleep deprived brain, wow. Anyway, I wanted to just finish off this video by just doing a little bit of a chat about what I am going to be planning for my cottage garden. I think I'm going to do just a video on what I am planting, like seeds I'm sowing for autumn and winter. I know a lot of people are interested in those kinds of videos, and I am really stripping it back into like the easiest varieties I can grow, because I really don't have a lot of time to be growing a lot right now. However, what I do have time for and what I need to make time for is soil prep, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm just pulling out some compost that I had in a bin that I just let sit. I didn't really do anything to it except Scott turned it a little bit, and this is going to add some really great material back into my soil. We have very clay soil here. This compost is very rough as well, but it does have a lot of goodness in it, and the main thing that it's going to add is organic matter, which is what my clay soil needs. Another thing that's going to help is worm casting. So I have a whole tray here that I'm going to be adding into prepping an area in the cottage garden, and that is also going to add in both, it's going to increase the water holding capacity, nutrients packed with lots of nutrients that worms create for plants to make it really bioavailable for roots to take up. And it's just going to add a little bit more life into the soil, which I haven't added compost to this area in a while, so that's what I'm going to be doing here. In terms of what I'm going to be planting and sowing and growing, I have actually planted some basil in this area that I am prepping right now. I'll show that in an upcoming video. But other things that I'm going to be planting are things like broad beans and some snow peas, probably some sweet peas, and I'm trying to select plants that have a bit more of a longer growing season. Things like broccoli, cabbages, I'm actually going to try and start them a little bit earlier this year because I didn't do that last year and ended up not really getting a crop at all. But I'm going to be planting things that last a little bit longer in the ground so that I don't have to do harvests like every single week or maintain the plants that much. I can just let them grow. A big one of those is going to be nitrogen fixing plants, so things like peas, beans, broad beans, that kind of family. And I really want to pack the garden with those because I want to add that nitrogen back into the soil. It's going to be being used as kind of both a cover crop, and also I will get some food from it. So that is my general plan for the cottage garden, and I do have a few other flowers that I'll be sowing and planting in here. Just going to take it really slowly and see what we can do. So thank you so much for coming along with me for a week in the garden. Sorry, this was all over the place. That's just what my life is right now. I'll try and make them a little bit more structured, these videos. I'll try being the keyword. We'll see how we go. But I was really happy to be able to get back out in the garden and just get back in my happy place and just do little bits here and there to, keep the garden going, keep things growing, and I'm sure it's going to pay off in the long run. I hope this video was encouraging for you to get out in the garden, do some weeding. Even if you've only got 10 minutes here and there, it really does make a big difference if you can do a few things throughout the week. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you to all of those over on my Patreon who help to make these videos possible. I've been filming lots more for over there, that I've got a few vlogs coming, so thank you so much for supporting me over there. And thank you so much for watching over here as well. I hope you're having a lovely day wherever you are in the world, and until my next one, happy gardening everyone. Bye.